Hey, what's up? This is Mia. Welcome to Cranberry Vintage. And today we are going to talk about 10 truths about having a garden. So let's begin. So there are many things that you can learn from having a garden, but I wanted to simplify it down to about 10 so you can digest it, and then I'll hit you with some more later on. The first thing that you have to take in consideration when you have a garden is things don't always go as expected. So you could do all the wonderful planning in the world, getting things organized, making it beautiful, drawing it on a piece of paper, and suddenly it can just go totally south. Like budget wise, or an insect may come through and tear some stuff up, or you may planted your plants too close together, or things didn't grow. So that's one of the big things you have to take in consideration when you're gardening, that even though you make all these plans, it may not go the way you planned it. So you got to be open to that. The second thing is that you have to get comfortable with native insects. For those that say, I don't like bees, I don't like butterflies, I don't like snakes, I don't like spiders, you are in the wrong field. They are going to be everywhere, and really they're beneficial, especially the native insects. They are going to be what makes your garden grow. So that's why I talk about having a pollinator garden with a vegetable garden, because you need those insects to pollinate your garden. So they're very, very beneficial, and you got to get comfortable with them, because the reality is, as I always tell my children, they're more scared of you than you are of them. At first, when I first saw them, oh man, I was like nervous. I really didn't want to bother them. I didn't want to have nothing to do with them. And now it's just to the point where I'm okay with them. They don't do anything to me and I don't harm them. Third truth is, gardening teaches you patience, commitment, and discipline. It's not just about putting things in the ground and just leaving them alone, you know? So you have to come out, you have to tend to it, you have to make sure things go well. So, hold on you guys, hold on. Let's see if I can. I don't know if you can see it, but it was a little hummingbird that came in my pollinated garden. I'm loving it. Been seeing butterflies and hummingbirds crazy galore. Number 4, you have to be willing to learn and grow. So it's not enough to just, like I mentioned, sticking seeds in the ground and calling it a day. Gardening actually is a learning process. You have to do things like read books, watch other YouTubers, join different groups, or join conventions, or workshops and stuff like that. That will teach you a lot about gardening. Even something as simple as when you go to the nursery, talking to the staff, that teaches you a lot. So you have to be willing to learn and grow as you garden. Number 5, there you go, hummingbird in our garden. Isn't that dope? Oh my gosh. It's 2 of them here. What? I got a hummingbird party happening, you guys. I am so happy. Number 5, native plants are key, or pollinator plants are key. It will bring so many beneficial insects to your area that it's breathtaking. I mean, I just showed you guys the hummingbird, but since I came out this morning, I've seen multiple butterflies, multiple bumblebees, spiders. It's just crazy, but it's beneficial because you want your plants to grow. So it's pretty dope this morning. Number 6, your garden doesn't have to be perfect. And believe it or not, the insects prefer it that way. I've noticed that when I've allowed my garden to go wild versus trying to keep it neat and organized, I've had more insects come to my garden when, like for instance, it's been raining like crazy. and the plants are just growing like crazy. I've had more insects come to this garden than when I try to keep everything neat and organized and beautiful. They're kind of like, yeah, we like the wildness. So it's okay. If your garden's not perfect, it's all right. At least you're doing it. Number 7, you are always at the mercy of Mother Nature. This is the truest, most gangster statement I have ever heard in my life. Mother Nature, you can pre-plan everything on your garden. You can make it beautiful, it can look nice, and Mother Nature will come through and tear it right down like it didn't exist. Or because things have changed so much, you wouldn't be able to grow, your stuff doesn't grow like you're used to it growing. So for instance, I remember having a huge trellis, and if I have a picture I'll show you. It was a beautiful trellis full of green beans. It was going strong, and then we had that terrible storm last year and it destroyed it. It literally knocked it over and ripped it out the ground. So, and I couldn't do anything but clean it up and get rid of it. So Mother Nature just rules all. So you could just be ready when you are gardening that it's just not going to, as the first one I said, it's not going to go the way that you expected sometimes. Number 8, give yourself at least 5 years to learn. So this is year 2 for me, and believe it or not, I would like to harvest some items from my garden, but I'm realizing that there's a possibility that I may not harvest anything. It's more so learning, and I'm okay with that. So like my little cherry 100 sweet cherries, we might get a chance to pick those. But like for instance, there's gonna be some plants that I'm not really interested in picking per se. I just want to see how they grow. So I'm spending these first 5 years really understanding the harvest times and how do you prune them properly? How do you get the most out of your fruits and veggies? How early should you clip your greens, or what happens when your basils go unpruned? Like, it's so much that I'm learning. So I'm giving myself about 5 years to learn all those things, because in the end it helps you. It takes you a lot further. 9, gardening is just more than growing fruits and vegetables. It's actually a year-long process. When you start gardening, yes, you're growing a lot of fruits and vegetables, but there's a lot of things outside of that that happens after the plants die back, or go to sleep, as I like to say. During the down seasons, such as winter, fall for some, those are the times where you actually come out, you weed out your bed, you recompost, you throw down some fresh wood chips, you cut a lot of the plants down, as I like to say, chop and drop. You pretty much get them down to their bark or the base plant so they can grow next year. But it's a process. It's not just something that it's one day, one season, and that's it. It's actually a year-long process. Even with your fruit trees, if you have fruit trees, you have to prune them and learn about them. Finally, number 10, gardening is the extended sanctuary of your home. Now, let me explain that. That's my favorite. That's why I left it as last. Your garden is your sanctuary. It's your outdoor sanctuary. There was one point in time when my job was stressing me out, or I was overwhelmed, or so forth, or just really not even stressed out. When I was working from home a lot, I did a lot of walking through my garden because it brought me a sense of peace. Like, my home is my sanctuary, my internal sanctuary, but my garden is my external sanctuary. It's where I come and look at nature and watch the hummingbirds and watch the bees and see how things grow. So as you create your garden, look at it beyond you just trying to grow and survive. Look at it from a perspective of it's also bringing you peace, and it's going to bring your family peace and happiness, because it's establishing good energy and a good aura for your home. So those are the 10 truths to gardening. I hope that you enjoyed it. And my question for you is, which one resonated with you the most out of the 10 I talked about? Like I said, number 10 was mine. What's yours out of the 10? Let me know in the comments below. If you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are almost at our 500 mark for the subscribers. I'm so happy. Thank you guys for those who have been subscribing and has joined the family. Welcome to the family for those that are new. And thank you for just going on this journey with me. It's been a beast, but it's been well worth it, and I really appreciate having the ability to share it with you all. So with that said, you guys have an awesome day and stay super-tastic, and yeah, peace.